I never thought I would be scared to be alone in my own home. I had always enjoyed the peace and quiet, especially after a long day at work. But ever since my husband had gone away on a business trip for 2 weeks, I had been engulfed in a sense of unease whenever I was alone in the house. It was a chilly Friday evening, and I had just come back from work. The house was dark and silent, and the only source of light being the streetlights outside. I couldn't wait to change into my cozy pajamas and indulge in some much-needed alone time. But as I was about to settle on the couch, a loud crash from the kitchen startled me. My heart raced as I cautiously made my way towards the source of the noise. I didn't see anything out of place, but the feeling of being watched sent shivers down my spine. Trying to brush off my unease, I went back to the living room, only to hear another crash, this time from the bathroom. My mind raced with thoughts of potential intruder or burglar. But upon investigation, I found nothing but an open window in the far corner of the bathroom. I tried to calm myself down, convincing myself that it was just the wind in my overreactive imagination. However, that sense of being watched only intensified as the night went on. I decided to lock all the windows and doors, but the sense of unease wouldn't leave me. That's when I remembered my husband's advice to always keep our house security system armed when I was alone. I quickly armed the system and crawled into bed, hoping to get some rest. But just as I was dozing off, the alarm went off, signaling an intrusion at the front door. My heart was pounding in my chest as I quickly grabbed my phone and dialed 911. I could hear footsteps coming closer and the doorknob jiggling as someone tried to get in. My hands were shaking as I waited for the police to arrive. I could hear the intruder trying to break in the house, but thankfully, the alarm scared them off before they could get inside. The police arrived, but they found no signs of an attempted break-in. While the police were there, I couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. But I dismissed it as my own fear and paranoia. The police left, but the unease stayed with me. I couldn't bring myself to sleep that night. Every little creak or noise made me jump. I even convinced myself that I heard someone whispering my name. It wasn't until the early hours of the morning that I finally dozed off from exhaustion. The next day, I went about my usual routine, trying to push the previous night's events to the back of my mind. I even checked the security camera footage, but there was no evidence of anyone trying to break in. It was probably just a glitch in the system, I thought. But that night, as I was about to go to bed, the alarm went off again. This time, I could hear someone trying to open the windows and doors, their footsteps getting closer and closer. I reached for my phone, but it wasn't there. I must have left it in the living room. I knew I had to get out of the house, but I was frozen in fear. Just as I was about to make it for a run, the door to my bedroom burst open, and a figure stepped into the room. My screams were muffled as a hand covered my mouth. I could feel the whole breath on the back of my neck as the intruder whispered, "Don't make a sound." My heart was racing as I tried to break free, but the intruder was too strong. I could see the glint of the knife in their hand, and the realization that there was not a prank or misunderstanding that had hit me with like a ton of bricks. I closed my eyes expecting for the worst, but instead the intruder spoke again. "Don't be afraid, I just want to talk." My eyes snapped open in confusion as the intruder stepped back, releasing me. Who was this person and what did they want? I couldn't find my voice to ask questions that were running through my mind. The figure sat on the edge of my bed, their face shrouded in shadows, but I could feel the sense of intensity of their gaze on me. They spoke in a deep, raspy voice. "I've been watching you for a while now. You have such a beautiful home, and you seem to live such a perfect life. I just want to be a part of it." I was horrified. This person had been watching me. They knew my schedule, my habits, my home. I tried to reason with them, asking them to leave and promising not to call the police if they did. But they seemed adamant on staying. They told me stories of how they had followed me on my daily routines, watched me through the windows, and even observed my interactions with my husband. I realized that this person was completely obsessed with me, and the thought sent chills down my spine. Finally, after what seemed like hours, this person got up to leave. But before disappearing into the night, they gave me a chilling warning. Don't think you can escape me. I will always be watching. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night, and when morning came, I immediately called for my husband to come home. He was shocked to find me huddled in a corner, terrified and traumatized by the events of the night. We installed a new security system and changed all locks, but the fear of being watched and stalked never left me. I couldn't be alone in the house anymore without constantly checking and rechecking the locks. Even though the intruder never returned, I couldn't shake off the feeling of being constantly watched. It was a horrifying experience that left me with a permanent sense of paranoia.